Satan. I started a YouTube channel. Beelzebub told me it would be a good idea. So I thought I would do a reading channel where I read some of my favorite literature. Today, I will be reading a fan fiction. I know I just said I'd read my favorites, but Beelzebub suggested this one. It is called Sonic in the Search for Love. I love Sonic. Sonic 2006 is the best video game ever, and you have me to thank for it. So I will read this piece of literature, as I have been told it is amazing. Let us begin. Sonic in the Search for Love, Chapter 1. Sonic the Hedgehog and Mills Tails have been best friends for years and lived in Knothole Village with their parents. They had some amazing adventures fighting off evil Dr. Eggman and his sidekick Snively, who is Eggman's relative. They had some tragedies along the way, with the loss of Sonic, Uncle Chuck, and Bunny. They held a big funeral for them, where everyone came to see them for one last time before they were buried underneath the earth. They both died from Eggman's massive attack, while everyone managed to get away to safety. Sonic and Tails were off to destroy Eggman's factory when this happened, and there was no time to get back in time to save them. They managed to destroy the factory while there was no security. Tails worries everyone because this is way too easy, says Sonic. I don't know, but I think this is a distraction so Eggman can get away with his evil plane, says Tails. You got it, Tails. Let's head back to Knothole and see what's happening down there. They were trying to back as fast as possible to the village, and Sonic was carrying Tails so they could get there quicker. Tails went down on Sonic and grabbed his package. Tails slowly caressed his hand around his member and started playing with it. When this happened, Sonic stopped as quickly as possible because his mind was on what his best friend was doing. This is the first time this has ever happened to him. Sonic lied on the ground while watching what his best friend was doing. Tails they turned around and stuck his expletive right in front of his best friend's face. Sonic grabbed his friend member and started playing with it and stared, jerking him off. He looked down at his friend and he was slowly sucking up and down his expletive. He took his mouth off Sonic expletive and told his to suck it expletive. He went back to work on Sonic expletive. Sonic then slowly sucking his expletive and enjoyed it very much and forgot all about the trouble in the world. Sonic and Tails both cummed into each other's mouths and drank it all down. Then Sonic right back to suck off Tails and his friend decided to do the same. This went on for another 10 min. They both got up, and after they cleaned the expletive off each other's privates and then cleaned off each other's face, they French kissed and went back home after Sonic told his this was my first time he's ever done this sort of thing. Tails said, I hope you like that, because there's more to come tonight at my house. They finally got back to Knothole, when then saw robots of Eggman all over the place. So this is where they were, and our mission was a trap set by Eggman, said Sonic. Tails agreed with him, and just at that moment, Sonic went at Sonic speed and destroyed all the robots in the village. Then he saw two bodies lying on the ground. On was his dad, and Bunny, his other best friend, and said to him earlier that day, "Is as soon as you get back, you can see me naked and have sex with me, because I finally decided how far I'm willing to take our relationship." 1 year earlier, Sonic was staying over at Bunny House for a sleepover. She was his only girlfriend for the past 5 years, and it wasn't just a sleepover as he thought it would be. Bunny invited his over for a masturbating evening, and he agreed to it. Bunny explained to him that we will be masturbating off each other. You can also go down on me, and I can go down on you. We will not have sex whatsoever. Sonic and Bunny were having so much fun. The only time they took a break was when they had to use the bathroom, and when her parents knocked on the door to see if they needed anything. Every time the head of his expletive got sore, we just asked her to suck him up instead. They switched positions so he could lick her expletive. His tongue and his member were getting sore, but he didn't care. He just wanted this night to last for as long as possible. This lasted for 5 hours, until he couldn't take the pain any longer. He told Bunny that he could still eat her expletive while his hand was playing with it. "If you want to, and I'll just sit on your head and leave your expletive alone for an hour." Bunny got up while Sonic's hand was caressing her sweet, juicy expletive that has come so many times. Know his hand and his face, and he still wanted more of it. Bunny sat down on his face and enjoyed the sweet pleasure of his tongue deep in her while she was playing with her expletive, which are a C cup. This continued on for the next 2 hours, and then Sonic said, "My expletive feels a lot better now, so you can have some more fun with it." This continued through the night until dawn the next day, while they were both really tired from all that, with their mouths still on each other's privets. They both woke up around 9:30 a.m. and gave each other one last expletive before Sonic went home later that day. That was the best night he ever had with the one girl he really loved for the past 5 years, and now she dead. Sonic ran over to check his dead body for a pulse, and there wasn't one. He then checked his girlfriend's body for a pulse and didn't feel one, and when no one was looking, he caressed her expletive and played with her expletive one last time till she cummed. Sonic went over to dig 2 graves and was crying a lot and really loudly while he was digging. The villagers looked at him and offered their help, but he kept refusing and wanted to be left alone. Even Tails asked him and still said no. Tails told Ace he'd make him feel a lot better tonight, so he forgot all his troubles for one night at least. Sonic got the graves dug and put their body in their graves and said a prayer in private. "I will miss both of you, the love of my life, and the father who raised me to who I am today. I hope you will wait for me, my love, because when I go, you're the first person I want to see." The funeral service gathered and held a ceremony for both of them. After the service was over, Sonic started covering up the graves. He was mourning and still crying. Sonic finished in an hour, and they were completely covered in dirt. Just at that moment it started to rain, and a thunderstorm was coming. He could hear it off in the distance, and ran to Tails' house to see what he was talking about. One of the graves started to shake, and there was the dirt coming off. A hand reached up and then pulled out of the grave. The person walked up to Tails' house and knocked on the door, and Tails answered the door while Sonic was right beside him. They were both in shock to who they saw. The person came in the house and said, "Are you surprised to see me?" To be continued.